What are the patterns in multiples of 1 and 0? Think about this question during the lesson. How could you use counters to show the number of oranges on the plates? Make 8 groups with 1 counter in each group. Kira has 8 plates with 1 orange on each plate. How many oranges does Kira have? What operation should you choose to answer this problem? Use multiplication to find 8 times 1. 8 groups with 1 in each group makes 8 in all. Kira has 8 oranges. What other operation could you use to solve this problem?
You could add the number 1 8 times. If Kira had one plate containing 8 oranges, she would have 8 oranges.
How can you use counters to show the number of oranges on this plate? Make one group of 8 counters to show the number of oranges on this plate. The identity, 1, property of multiplication. When you multiply a number and 1, the product is that number. The zero property of multiplication. When you multiply a number and 0, the product is 0. If Kira had 4 plates with 0 oranges on each plate, she would have 0 oranges. How many plates are there? There are 4 plates. How many oranges are on each plate? There are 0 oranges on each plate. If 4 times 0 equals 0, then 0 times 4 equals 0. Can you use counters to show the number of oranges?
There are no oranges on any of the plates, so there is nothing to show.
Can you show 4 times 0 with counters? No, 4 times 0 means 4 groups of 0, so there is nothing to show. Think about how this relates to adding with 0. How is the 0 property of addition different from the 0 property of multiplication? In the 0 property of addition, 4 plus 0 equals 4 means 0 is being combined with 4. In the 0 property of multiplication, 4 times 0 equals 0 means 4 groups of nothing.
The identity, 1, property of multiplication says that when you multiply a number and 1, the product is that number. The 0 property of multiplication says that when you multiply a number and 0, the product is 0.
If 4 times 0 equals 0, then 0 times 4 equals 0.
You are an expert at multiplication facts. But there are a couple of properties that can help you when multiplying by 0 and 1. Let's take a look. The identity property of multiplication tells us that when you multiply any number by 1, the product is that number. So, if you multiply 8 times 1, the product will be 8. If you multiply 1 times 12, the product is 12. This works for any number, even the biggest number you can think of. One group of any number will always be that number. The 0 property of multiplication tells us that when you multiply any number by 0, the product is 0. That is because 0 groups of any number will always be 0, even if that number is really big. Multiplying by 0 will always give you a product of 0. The identity property and the 0 property are helpful tools when you're working on multiplication. You can quickly and easily figure out the products where one of the factors is 0 or 1. What multiplication facts can you make?